Well, it was very summer-like out there, even though summer officially starts tomorrow. We've been getting a head start with all this warm air in place, including Seneca, Missouri, with Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Beautiful evening shaping up down there, lots of clear skies. Seeing Venus and the crescent moon in the western sky tonight. We made it up to 90 degrees once again in Joplin, starting out at 66, which was a hair below normal, but we made up for it on the average high of being 87, so we were 3 degrees above that. We're behind though on the month as far as rainfall goes, still about ½ an inch below and 6 2/3 below for the year. And that's on top of being dry last year. So we're still in the drought situation. Summer starts tomorrow, and of course that means the northern hemisphere is tilting towards the sun, and it's going to be reaching the highest position in the sky, the sun will. And so some shorter days are going to start coming. But tomorrow's going to be the longest day with 14 hours and 43 minutes of daylight. And it will officially arrive at 9:57 tomorrow morning. So summer is starting across the area, and right now it's dry across the entire region. There are some storms up in southwestern Nebraska, but guess what? Those aren't heading our direction. They're heading up towards the north, up into central Nebraska. Instead, we're looking at temperatures tonight pretty mild and comfortable in the 70s and 80s, 80 in Anderson, 83 still at this hour down in Grove, where they're picking up from the storm damage still. Night 83 in Neodesha as well in Independence, but it's down to 77 degrees up in Iola. When you factor in the dew point, this is what the heat index feels like right now. It feels like 85 in Independence and 87 right now still at this hour in Nowata. Rain chances are going to be slow to none across the area, or low to none over the next 36 hours. Maybe an isolated storm or two, but that will mainly be out towards the west in our western counties. You can see that on our future track forecast. Temperatures tonight are going to be in the 60s with southeasterly winds. Then tomorrow, again, there might be a storm or two way out towards the west, but everyone else will remain dry with highs in the lower 90s across the region. And then as we go into Thursday morning, lows will still be mild, generally 60s with a few clouds here and there. And then as we head through Thursday afternoon, we're going to see maybe some isolated storms off towards the east with highs in the upper 80s to right around 90 degrees. And then Friday morning, you guessed it, more of the same, partly cloudy skies with lows in the 60s. And it's all because of this ridge of high pressure that is sitting over the central plains, keeping the storminess to the east and to the west, with us sandwiched in between. Now this low is going to try to make its way towards the west, but it's going to have a difficult time doing that. And instead, this high is going to build back in and push it out of the way. But at least when we go into the weekend, we're going to get into a northwest flow pattern. And when we do that, we start to see chances of rain increase because of storms that develop late in the evening and roll across our area in the early morning hours. And so that's why we're thinking the weekend we might see some storm chances across the area. And with those storms, some of the storms could put down maybe a tenth or so in some isolated areas. That's what we're thinking right now. So the storms are going to be very few and far between. Here's the next 7-day forecast. Dry all the way through to about Friday, when we might have an isolated storm with a high of 89. Better chance of storms, I think, Jalen, on Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then it turns dry again on Monday and Tuesday, and the temperatures start going up and up and up.
Whenever we hear the word dry, especially over the last year, kind of shudder a little bit, like, oh no, not again.
It just keeps hanging on.
All right, well, thank you, Sam.
Being an offensive lineman is a thankless job. You put in a lot of work, but you don't get the highlights or the accolades of a quarterback, wide receiver, or linebacker. But at Webb City High School, being a lineman is not only appreciated, but has a lot of prestige behind it. Today, the Cardinals begin teaching the next generation of Webb City linemen at their Hog Pride Youth Camp. Over 150 campers are in attendance, performing various drills under the instruction of Webb City players and coaches, along with Tristan Colon, who participated in this camp as a child before playing in the NFL today.
You know, we've been fortunate to have a lot of Division I offensive and defensive linemen come through here, and we like to bring up that tradition to our kids and talk about, all the, the undersized kids that maybe didn't have a lot of expectations to them and how they've developed throughout their junior high and high school career, and they get a chance to go play in college and then a chance to play in the NFL maybe.
These kids, they be talking to me, I hear about a Chief joke every other joke here and there, but no, it's great. So, I love coming back, especially I live here. I live here with my fiance and with 3 beautiful babies, so, love being home.
To local baseball, earlier this evening, the Joplin Outlaws broke their 4-game losing streak by taking down the Des Moines Peak Prospects in Game 1 of a doubleheader. So the second end of the doubleheader means a chance to start a 2-game winning streak in just one day. And the Outlaws end up winning both ends of the doubleheaders, making Des Moines look like the meek Prospects. They win both the first and second games by an identical score of 6-3. Brett Sarwinski from Pitt State helped out with a hit, a run, and an RBI in Game 2. Outlaws back within 3 games of first place in the Mink League's South Division. And over the weekend, the Royals won their first game in 11 tries. Snapping that losing streak was huge. But they still haven't won a game on the road in the month of June. Kansas City's last road win was on May 29th. Trying to change that today, though. Royals taking on the Tigers in Detroit. First inning, no score when Michael Garcia grounds one up the middle off Michael Lorenzen. Zach Short bobbles it, and that sends Nick Prado home. He tries to score, but the Tigers recover in time and they throw him out. That stayed at no score until the 6th inning. Matt Beattie lines one down the line off Lorenzen. Michael Garcia comes around to score easily. Just like that, the Royals have the lead, 1-0. Same score in the 8th inning. Aroldis Chapman in a jam with the bases loaded, but he gets Torkelson to ground out into a force out to end the inning. Chapman escapes the jam. To the 9th we go. Royals with a chance to win one on the road, still up 1-0. Last chance for the Tigers, tying run on third. And Scott Barlow, strikes out Zach McKinstry swinging. The Royals win it 1-0. And believe it or not, Cardinals winners as well tonight. St. Louis obliterates the Nationals 9-3. Jordan Montgomery was outstanding. He goes 7 innings, strikes out 6, and only allows 1 earned run. He picks up the win. Cardinals get back-to-back series victories, each of them coming on the road. They go for the sweep tomorrow afternoon. We're back with more news after this.